Bonjour, Lily here. Welcome to the iBug Apple Workshop, episode number 153, for Saturday, the 27th of July, 2024. We are coming to you from the Summer Olympics in Paris today. Thank you to those joining us in person this afternoon, and to those of you listening to the recorded playback on the iBug Today website, podcast or YouTube channel. The blind community are finding the Apple devices to be useful assistive technology tools in their daily lives. Whether at home, at work or school, or on the go, the accessibility features of the Apple devices have cleared new pathways for the blind to be more productive, consume online content, and stay connected through social media. We have an exciting meeting planned for today. We will first review some iBug announcements and some recent Apple news and rumors. Then, Herbie will demo the native weather app and Jody will demo the Bard mobile app on the iPhone. Bon appétit. Finally, we will spend any remaining time to answer general questions you may have. I would now like to turn the meeting over to the iBug guy, Michelle McCulloch. Ready to go, Michelle?
Au revoir, profite du spectacle.
Yes. Or oui. It's time for iBug Apple Workshop, as Lily just said. And thank you, Lily. And as you heard, we are broadcasting today live from Paris in honor of the Olympics, Summer Olympics, Olympiad 33. And we've got lots going on today. And I also want to welcome everybody. We're going to be having some introductions around the room momentarily. We'll unmic everybody and you can come off, say your name, where you're calling in from or zooming in from. And as always, we have a little icebreaker to get things opened up and going. And in honor of our friends in France, we're going to talk about French fries. Although they really originated in Belgium. But anyway, somehow they got called French fries. Probably because you wanted to have alliteration, which sounds funny calling it Belgium fries. Anyway, so French fries. Okay, here's the deal. We want to know your orientation preference. Curly, straight, or waffle? So let them off, people come off and just say your name and where you're from and your French fry preference.
This is Herbie, and I'll take all three, please.
All right. No, he goes every which way. Okay, way to go, Herbie.
This is Debbie. I'm from Albany, Georgia, and I prefer the waffle fries.
All right. Welcome, Debbie.
Thank you.
Robert here in Chandler, Arizona. I prefer straight fries with poutine or malted vinegar and salt.
All right. Very good. Welcome, Mr. Robert. Who else?
Hello, Michelle. Hello, Michelle.
Yeah, welcome from Houston.
I love French fries, and I love them anyway.
Okay, another one that goes.
This is Pete, and I'm in Florida, and I'm the same way. I'll take all three, but give me lots of ketchup.
All right, very good. Who else we got? Welcome, Pete.
Jake from Michigan.
Go ahead, Jake from Michigan.
Okay.
You have a preference on how you like your French fries, curly, straight, or waffle?
Yes, this is Jake from Michigan, and my preference is curly fries with a chocolate milkshake.
All right, we're getting complicated here. All right, Wes, I heard you chime in there. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. And I'll go with Curley.
All right. Welcome, sir. Who else we got out there?
Richard in Houston.
All right, go ahead. Richard first, and then the other person from Houston. Go ahead, Richard.
Straight, homemade, with too much salt and ketchup.
All right. High blood pressure on its way. All right. Who was that other person from Houston, young lady?
Gloria.
Hello, Gloria.
Hello.
What's your preference on French fries?
I like all three. Doesn't matter.
All right, we like everybody's going three-way. Who else we got out there? I know there's more of you there.
Claudia.
Go ahead, Claudia.
I like ketchup.
Okay, how do you like your fries? Curly, straight, or waffle?
Straight.
Okay, very good.
This is George from Houston. I like crinkle cut fries.
Crinkle, got a new twist in there. Welcome, George.
They said the waffle category the closest.
I heard D out there too.
Yeah, I like mine straight, just like my men.
All right. We're not going to go there, but that's good. All right, who else we got?
Pat.
Go ahead, Pat.
I like fresh cut, I guess, straight ones.
Okay.
But I will eat the other ones as well.
All right, Pat. And remind everybody where you're from, please, ma'am.
Oh, Ohio.
Of course. Welcome. Buckeye.
This is Jody in New Hampshire.
Yes, ma'am.
And I've never had a fry I didn't like, but I like waffle and steak.
All right. All right. Anybody joining us late? Name, where you're from, and how you like your fries. Curly, straight, waffle, crinkle. I don't know. There may be some other ways I don't know about.
Brian from Ontario.
Let's see. Sharon and then Brian.
Yeah.
Sharon from New York, and I like waffle cut.
All right. Welcome, Ms. New York City.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I like all three of them, except not too much salt on them. Very little, and ketchup.
All right. Very good. Who else is out there? Heard somebody.
Clarice Henry, and I like chicken fries.
Oh, okay. Way to go. Welcome, Clarice.
Thank you.
This is John from BC, Canada. I prefer straight fries, but I like all fries.
Okay, fries anyway. Welcome, John. Good to have you. Anybody else out there hadn't had a chance to introduce themselves?
Marty from Philly.
Yeah, Marty.
Desi in Franklin, Tennessee.
Okay, hang on just a second. Some of you guys came in late. Our icebreaker is, how do you like your fries? Curly, straight, waffle, or otherwise? Go ahead, Marty, and then Desi. Tell us.
Marty, steak fries.
Okay. How about you, Desi?
I love waffle fries.
All right. Anybody else that didn't get a chance to introduce themselves, jump in right now.
This is Sharif from Virginia. I like curves, so I'll take Curly.
Curly. Ooh. Anybody else? Welcome, Shree.
This is Sandhya.
Sandhya. Okay. Glad to have you with us.
Oh, thank you. I like Curly from Jack in the Box and straight from McDonald's.
Ooh. God, you go to the source even. All right, very good. Last chance. Here we go. Anybody else out there wants to introduce themselves and the kind
Arlene.
of prize? Oh, Arlene.
Hi. Arlene, North Carolina, steak fries.
Very good. Welcome, Arlene.
Thank you.
All right. Last chance. All right. I guess I'll share my preference. I like them. Anybody have a guess?
Curly.
Curly, Curly,
I
correct.
thought to say you like English fries instead of French fries.
All right, very good. Well, appreciate everybody sharing that and being a part of our program today. We got lots going on, so we're going to move right along here. I want to find out, I didn't recognize anybody, but there might be a first timer out there. Any first timers to the iBug Apple Workshop? Okay, well, glad to have everybody back. That is so awesome. You guys come back and take time out of your busy afternoons on a nice Saturday. Hopefully it's nice where you are. I haven't been outside in a while. Okay, how about the month of, what are we in? July. Any July birthdays? We would like to acknowledge your birthday if you had a birthday in July.
George.
Gloria, July 7th.
Okay, and George, when was yours?
The 22nd.
All right. Happy birthday, you guys. Anybody else? Birthdays in July. 7 to be November. Any November conceptions out there? All right, all right. Well, we'll move right along. Well, happy birthday to those that had birthdays today. We are just want to celebrate that with you. And another year around the sun.
Birthday.
Another trip around the sun. Okay, let me get into a few announcements coming up iBug wise. Things coming up here in the next, I'm not sure if I'll go all month or not, but we got, every Monday night, the iBug Buzz will be happening at 7 p.m. These times are all central, and everything we do is right here on this very same Zoom channel. Then Thursday, August the 1st, we have our first month of August Trekkie Talk. And there we're watching a couple of episodes of Deep Space Nine, Season 1. I think it's episodes 17 and 18, and Jody can correct me if I'm not got that right. Oh, then Saturday. Well, Friday was our regular movie night. Everybody knows. And come on Monday if you want to find out early what the movie's going to be. But we've got a special presentation. We've got what we call iBug's Got Talent Showcase. This is the first time that we've done this, and hopefully it may be a regular annual thing. But we've got some awesome performers. I didn't realize iBug had such great talent from all across the nation. I think we have some internationals in there too. So you won't want to miss that. Over 20 performers. That will be Saturday, August the 3rd at 8 p.m. Central. There's performers that are doing, musical numbers, some others that are doing other things, such as spoken word, poetry and storytelling and little acting bits and comedy and all kinds of little things going on there. So it should be a really good time, and there'll be time after the performers have done their thing to just share your comments about them, and also there'll be some prizes given out. So that should be a great time. 8 o'clock next Saturday, August 3rd. Be there. The following Thursday, August 8th, we have the Vila Book Club, and they're currently reading a book called Lessons in Chemistry. Oh, I didn't do too good in chemistry, and that's author Bonnie Gamus, And the DB number 107-538. 107-538 in the Bard NLS system. So join us for that at Thursday, August 8th, 6:30 p.m. Then Sunday, August 14th, the iBug Cafe will be back at its regular time, 4 p.m. And they're going to be talking about all the good stuff that you can do with the Safari app, the native web browser on the iPhone, Safari. Be doing a deep dive into that one. Our regular Android Insight program, Wednesday, August 21st at 7 p.m. And then we've got another special episode of It's iBug's Life on Thursday, August the 22nd at 7 p.m. And that one's going to be on financial investing. If you were here 4 months ago, we had Daryl Osterman or something like that. I don't remember his last name for sure, but he will be back. He's a wealth of knowledge on all kinds of things related to financial information. So we're going to be looking at some ways to invest your money, make it grow. Okay. Oh, Macintalk. Forgot that one. Tuesday, August 27th, towards the end of the month there at 7 p.m. That's our regular Q&A help session for everybody that has a Mac or wants to try to learn to use a Mac. And we'll be back with the Apple Workshop here. It won't be on the fourth Saturday. We're going to moving it to the fifth Saturday because of some other conflicts. So it'll be August 31st, the last day of the month. We barely got it in there, but we are going to do it. Apple Workshop, Saturday, August 31st. And it should be just as fun as what we're going to do today. All right. So that's what's coming up over the next month. In case you just can't remember all that, you can always go to our website. That is, of course, ibugtoday.org. And you can find all the calendars and events going on, recordings of all of these sessions that we're doing, in case you missed it or just want to go back and review something. Also on our Facebook, our regular Facebook page, and then we have a Facebook group. You just do a search for iBug Today. You'll find those. You can join that iBug group and iBug Today group, and that's a great place to also find out what's going on a daily basis. Usually things are posted in there. You can always follow us on our X account at iBug Today is our handle there. Okay, let's see. I think that's about all the iBug related things. So I am going to hand it off now to my co-host. I forgot to introduce at the beginning, but she piped in and said her name anyway. Ms. Sandhya is going to tell us more about what's going on in the Apple world with the latest news and rumors. Take it away, Sandhya.
Now, let's review the latest Apple news for the month of July. Apple Intelligence to potentially increase sales of Apple products. Apple Intelligence, which is slated to debut in iOS 18, is expected to significantly impact iPhone and iPad sales, according to Morgan Stanley, an investment banking company. The new feature will require newer devices, and this is seen as a major driver to upgrade to newer models. This has led Morgan Stanley to increase its price target for Apple stock from $216 to $273, making the Apple company its top pick. The firm predicts that it will ship around 500 million with a B iPhones within the next 2 years. How exciting! Anticipating update revamping Siri won't roll out until 2025, Siri is set to gain new features and a design revamp in iOS 18. While many updates will roll out in 2024, a major and much awaited upgrade to SIRI is expected in iOS 18.4, which will not be released until 2025, first as a beta in January and later a full and public release in the spring of that year. This upgrade will introduce a new animation displaying a flare around the edge of the iPhone screen when invoking SIRI, replacing the current circle icon. Well, never knew there was a circle icon, but okay. Additionally, deeper integration with iOS apps will allow SIRI to interpret commands more effectively and perform multi-step tasks. Okay, can't wait for that. Next, iPhone 16 charging times are rumored to be faster. Apple is rumored to enhance the fast charging capability of the new iPhone 16, potentially allowing it to charge up to 40 watts, double the current 20-watt limit of the iPhone 15. This significant upgrade could enable the iPhone 16 to reach a 50% charge in approximately 15 minutes, significantly reducing the overall charging time. For comparison, the iPhone 15 achieves a 50% charge in about 30 minutes. However, this improved fast charging capability would only be effective with direct USB-C connection and might not impact wireless charging, as MagSafe and QI2 remain limited to 15 watts. While the prospect of faster charging is appealing, it comes with a potential drawback. Charging at higher wattages can increase battery temperature, leading to unwanted thermal issues and potentially accelerating battery wear, which could reduce its usable life. Despite these concerns, the rumor remains plausible, especially given Apple's history of hardware improvements. Faster charging times would benefit users who need quick power boosts. However, Apple will need to carefully balance in order to mitigate any potential thermal issues. Definitely stick with that one. Eton College, one of the most prestigious boarding schools in England, known for educating numerous British prime ministers, including Boris Johnson, has implemented a new policy banning first-year students from using iPhones and other smartphones. The school aims to balance the benefit and challenges that technology brings to the educational environment. Starting this year, students will have their iPhone SIM cards transferred to basic Nokia phones. Oh, how sad. Provided by the school. This move is intended to reduce distractions and help students focus on their studies without constant interruptions associated with smartphone use. Now, our next story. Apple Group Call feature may no longer require Wi-Fi or cellular data. Apple is developing technology to enable group audio chats without the need for Wi-Fi or cellular service, using only an iPhone and a headset. This system would allow people in close proximity to communicate directly between devices, much like the walkie-talkie feature on the Apple Watch, but more reliable. The technology, detailed in a recent patent application, functions similarly to AirDrop by enabling one-to-many connections for simultaneous group conversations. The new system uses Apple's ultra-wideband, UWB for your friends, technology, which already allows devices to detect the location and distance of nearby objects or people. This feature could help users in various scenarios, such as coordinating meetings at crowded events or communicating in emergency situations where cell networks might be overloaded or unavailable. The interface would display nearby individuals in a proximate circle, allowing users to tap on names to add them to the conversation, even if they are not in your contacts. Next, a YouTuber, Jared Brick of Brick House Media, recently recovered his lost Apple Watch nearly 2 years after losing it while diving in the British Virgin Islands. Due to the Find My feature. In summer of 2022, Brick was using the watch to check time and track dives, including those over 100 feet deep, during a family trip to celebrate his son's 11th birthday. On the final day, he lost the watch while swimming at the baths on Virgin Gorda. Upon realizing the loss, Brick used the Find My feature to report the watch as lost, which pinpointed the exact location where it was last seen, though it would not be recovered then. 18 months later, in December 2023, a local resident named Jonathan found the watch on the same beach, charged it, and saw Brick's contact information displayed on the screen. Jonathan contacted Brick and mailed the watch back to Felton, California. The watch was delivered in 2024, which had survived being underwater for over 1 year, and it arrived in good working order. So this showcases the resilience of Apple Watches and the effectiveness of the Find My feature. Next, another Apple Watch story. Apple Watch aids in rescue of Australian surfer who drifted out to see. This was a 49-year-old swimmer in New South Wales. Rick Sherman was rescued after using his Apple Watch to call for help when he got caught in a riptide with breaking waves that carried him further away from land while surfing at Tallow Beach, Byron Bay. Sherman, an experienced ocean swimmer, was dragged about a kilometer off course by strong waves. After 20 minutes of struggling to return to shore and becoming cramped and fatigued, Sherman used the SOS function on his Apple Watch to call emergency services. He stayed online for an hour, providing updates on his location until a rescue helicopter arrived and lifted him to safety. Next, all iPhone 16 models are said to be powered by A18 chips. Rumors suggest that all models of the upcoming iPhone 16 will be powered by the same A18 chip, marking a significant shift from recent years where Apple differentiates its processors, differentiates the processors between the Pro and non-Pro models. Apple is still rumored to release a foldable iPhone in 2026. Rumors have surfaced that Apple is developing an iPhone with a foldable screen to rival Samsung's foldable model, the Z Flip. The iPhone is speculated to be launched in 2026, though it has not been confirmed yet. Apple has reportedly created an internal code for the folding iPhone project, secretly called V68. Next, CrowdStrike outage. Microsoft blames the EU while Macs remain immune. The CrowdStrike issue hit 8.5 million computers running Windows on Friday, July 19th, and repercussions are still being felt. But if the person at the next desk was using a Mac, they were blissfully unaffected. It came about because CrowdStrike Falcon system, designed to prevent cyber attacks, had a faulty update that led to millions of Windows PCs and servers finding themselves caught in a boot loop. A boot loop. Okay, not a Fruit Loop, a boot loop. Friday's outage was caused by a buggy update sent to corporate client by CrowdStrike, one of hundreds of cybersecurity firms that have built a business promising to make Windows more secure. So why did Macs escape this chaos? It comes down to a famous walled garden, which Apple is often criticized for offering. Because of the closed ecosystem, Apple has a much healthier balance between forcing people to upgrade, forcing applications to maintain good security practices, or they pull them off the App Store. The blue screen of death, as it is colloquially called, which was so prevalent in the last few days couldn't happen to Macs. So be glad that you were using a Mac. Now, for the final and my favorite story. A dog causes a house fire in Colorado. Apple's HomePod alerted the owners early of the fire. In Colorado Springs, a dog accidentally caused a house fire by turning on a stove burner while playing with boxes on the stove. The fire that occurred on June 26 was detected early by Apple's HomePod, which alerted the homeowners to the fire with a critical notice by allegedly a warning of high heat, though it is more likely that the HomePod used its feature to listen for smoke, CO2 detectors, and consequently alerted the homeowners using a critical notice. This early warning allowed the homeowners to extinguish the fire before the fire department arrived. One homeowner was treated for smoke inhalation, but no other injuries were reported. The Colorado Springs Fire Department emphasized the importance of having working smoking alarms inside and outside, in sleeping areas, and on every floor of your house, as well as keeping combustible items away from the stovetop. It also might be a really good idea to keep your dog off the stovetop.
All right, very good. Thank you, Sandhya. Man, lots of great news there in the Apple world. Crazy stuff, too. I may have to get one of those Ultra watches in case I drift out to sea. I know you guys would hate to see that happen. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, normally we're going to unmute everybody, see if you got questions or comments about any of the news. But before we do that, before we unmute everybody, I want to play one more little news bit. Well, sort of. But anyway, I'm not going to tell you who this is. You probably can figure it out. It's about a 2-minute little blurb, but it's kind of relevant. So let's just do that right now.
Do you know who Alexander the Great's tutor was for about 14 years? You know, Aristotle. And I read this. I became immensely jealous. And I think I would have enjoyed that a great deal. And through the miracle of the printed page, I can at least read what Aristotle wrote without an intermediary. And maybe if there's a professor, they can add to that. But at least I can go directly to the source material. And that is, of course, the foundation upon which our Western civilization is built. But I can't ask Aristotle a question. I mean, I can, but I won't get an answer. And so my hope is that in our lifetimes, we can make a tool of a new kind, of an interactive kind. And so my hope is someday, when the next Aristotle is alive, we can capture the underlying worldview of that Aristotle in a computer. And someday some student will be able to not only read the words Aristotle wrote, but ask Aristotle a question and get an answer. And that's what I hope that we can do.
All right, very good. Okay, so we're going to unmute everybody, and let's see if any of you figured out who that was just speaking. Be sure to say your name, wait to be acknowledged, and then we will pass the mic over to you. Anybody got or if you have comments or questions about any of the Apple news, or if you have any other news in the Apple world.
This is David.
Hey, David.
I believe that was Steve Jobs.
It was Steve Jobs. Of course, it was Steve Jobs. That was from 1985, about a year after they introduced the Macintosh. And I guess he was, 30 years old back then? That was 15, 25, almost 40 years ago. And what he was describing there was basically ChatGPT, which is now prevalent all over the place. So,
messages now.
A little prediction there by a young Steve Jobs. And we've got a demo that we're going to do. Herbie has graciously done another demo for us, so we'll get ready to do that. So, Herbie, you want to say anything about the demo you're going to be doing?
All right, so just real quick, this is going to be a short demo on the weather app. And with that, let's just get right into it.
Those raindrops are falling on my head and they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun. And I said I didn't like the way he got things done.
The weather. If you're in the Houston area, lately you've not needed a smartphone to know what the weather's doing because you can hear it and see it for yourself. Rain, rain, and more rain. But for everybody else that maybe has more unpredictable weather and would like to know what it's doing, you might find the weather app useful. I personally find that if I want to know what the weather's doing, I can look at other factors. Like if it's the summertime around here, it's going to be hot. I don't need to worry about snow or anything like that. If it's the wintertime, well, I used to not worry about snow, but you never know these days. But I digress. Let's instead look at the weather. And we're just going to do this by simply opening the weather app. Open weather.
Weather, my location, Houston, 75 degrees, feels like 78 degrees, rain, high 84 degrees, low 74 degrees.
So, right off the bat, it's giving me information that it's 75 degrees. It feels like 78 degrees, okay. And the high is going to be 84 today. And of course, did I mention rain earlier? I don't remember if I did or not, but just in case I forgot to.
Warning, severe weather.
As you hear, I can expect severe weather.
Flash flood warning. These conditions are expected to last until 10:30, Friday, July 26th. Additional alert, flood watch. National Weather Service.
For those that haven't figured this out already, this is Friday, and yep, we've got severe weather. So the app right here is warning me of that in the event that I might actually need to know, which in this particular area, not really, but that's fine.
Rain forecasted.
What did I say earlier about in Houston? We already know what's forecasted.
Rain for the next hour. Next hour precipitation, 9:07 moderate precipitation. Audio graph available. The x-axis is time. The y-axis is precipitation intensity. There is one data series.
And we will come back to the audio graph a little bit more and talk about that. But that can be useful if you're into the type of graphical information like that.
9099. Learn more about weather data toolbar. Show map button. Location chooser. Houston location list button. Rain forecasted. Rain next hour precipitation 9:08 moderate. 9:09 moderate precipitation. 9:11 moderate precipitation.
So now it's giving me minute by minute information here.
9:12 moderate precipitation. 9:13 moderate precipitation. 9:14 moderate precipitation.
And we can go on and on and on, so we're going to jump to the bottom of the screen here by touching the bottom left.
Toolbar, show map, button.
So here I can have it show the map.
Location chooser, Houston, current location, city 1 of 3, adjustable.
I can adjust my location.
Location list, button.
And then there's a location list.
Location list.
And that's that. So I'm actually going to start from the bottom here and do the location list.
More, button, pop, more, weather, heading, search for a city or airport, search field.
Okay, so, where's everybody calling from? Yes, you already said at the beginning of the call, but I'm not live at the moment, so I don't know what you said. I'm not clairvoyant. But, you know what? I'm gonna take a gamble, and I know that Janet often calls in from the Denver, Colorado area, so she might want to know what her weather is like. Let's see if we can type that in here.
Search field, search, Braille screen input, orientation, D, on, V, O, R. Space, cap, O.
So then I typed in Denver and then CO, which is the abbreviation for Colorado.
Portrait, Denver, CO United States, button.
Ah, Denver, CO United States.
Activate to dismiss pop-up window, button. Can't add, button. Denver, 73 degrees, feels like 72 degrees, cloudy, high 92 degrees, low 66 degrees.
Okay, very different weather than what we're having here.
Cloudy conditions will continue all day. Wind gusts are up to 5 miles per hour. Now, cloudy, 73 degrees, button.
Sorry, that was my fault. Let's see if I can fix that. Probably not going to be able to get back to the exact spot, so we'll try this.
Different weather than what we're having here.
Cloudy conditions will continue all day. Wind gusts are up to 5 miles per hour. Now, cloudy, 73 degrees, button. 09, mostly cloudy, 77 degrees, button. 10, mostly cloudy, 82 degrees, button. 11, mostly cloudy, 86 degrees. 12, mostly cloudy, 89 degrees.
So her weather is more hourly based instead. So let's go back to the top.
Can't add, button.
And I can add this so that I can always look at Denver if I want.
More weather, heading, search for a city or airport, search field.
Okay, you know what? Why don't I search for someplace completely different?
Search field.
Because we can look anywhere in the world pretty much.
Misspelled words, character, braille screen input, orientation
How
locked,
about
landscape, cap, O, N, D, O, N, spit, dot, on, G, L, N.
So we'll look at London.
Location, University of Notre Dame, London, England, button.
Ah, here we go. So there's multiple choices here.
University of Notre Dame, USA in England, London, Global Gateway. Fisher, Croydon, London, England, button. Harrow, London, England, but Islington, London, England, button.
So it's listing off the different suburbs as well, so...
Enfield, London, is London, England, button.
I'm just gonna double tap the button for London.
Activate to can't add, button. London, 70, partly London, 73 degrees, feels like 70 degrees, cloudy, high 73 degrees, low 57 degrees.
And what's nice is we get to see the temperature still in our own Fahrenheit rather than the Celsius that they use in other parts of the world.
Partly cloudy conditions expected around 20. Now, cloudy, 73 degrees, button. 16, cloudy, 73 degrees, button. 17, mostly cloudy, 72 degrees, button.
Now I should mention that because my phone is set to this, it's giving it in military time, or what I should also call 24-hour time. Your phone will probably do it in regular time if that's how you have it set to. So it's telling me like at 4 it's going to be at such and such. So it also adjusts to the time zone in terms of like the time of day rather. So 4 o'clock UK time is 10 Central Time. So there you go. And
cancel button.
I don't really want to add this, but let's go back to the location chooser.
Wandsworth, London, Camden, cancel button.
And we've got a bunch of cancel buttons to get
weather,
to.
More button. Pop up button. Location list. Learn more. Denver 8 12. Weather. Search for a city or airport. Denver 8 12.
Okay, so I'm back to my location list, and I can just swipe down through the different ones I've added.
Delete.
Or I can delete it if I want.
Activate New York, Denver. Learn more about weather date. Santa Clara. My location. Houston. Tip. Enable notifications. Button.
Ah, that's right. I can enable notifications. So this is to the left of my location. Let's go ahead and do that.
Allow location access. Heading. You'll need to give continue. Button. Alert.
So location. I'm giving weather permission to access my
weather
location.
Weather settings. Okay. Button. Activate to dismiss tip.
So let's go back to the main screen real quick, because by default it's a location chooser, so I can swipe between the cities. So I've done all the dismiss buttons and all that, so now we're back to the main screen.
Location chooser, Houston, current location, city 1 of 4, adjustable.
And let's swipe up.
Santa Clara, city 2 of 4. New York, city 3 of 4. Denver, city 4 of 4.
And there you go. I've got several cities in here.
Location list. Button.
And if I want to make modifications, I go back to the list.
Button. More. Location. Santa Clara. New York. Denver. 8.
And I don't need to be constantly looking at Denver's weather, so I can just swipe down in this list.
Delete.
And double tap the delete button.
My location. Houston. Santa Clara. New York. Learn more about weather. Learn more about
there you go.
Weather. More. Button. Pop up button.
Okay, so there's a more button at the top of this location list.
Edit list. Button. Notifications. Button. Celsius. Button.
So what are the notifications for, by the way? They're for severe weather and whatnot. I can change this to Celsius if I want.
Selected. Fahrenheit. Units. Button. Report an issue. Button. Dismiss context menu. Button. More. Weather. Heading. Search for a city or airport. More. Button. Edit. Notification. Edit. Notifications. Dismiss context menu. Location.
And there you have that.
My location.
And then to get out of the list, you just double tap the city you want.
Selected. My location. Learn more about weather data. My warning. Severe rain for the next hour.
And we're back to the main screen.
9.
I'm not really going to demo the map, as I find that's a little bit more of a visual thing, but it shows just the actual weather in like real-time data. And that is pretty much it for the weather app. Pretty simple, actually. And if you go to the weather that's actually in the settings, not much really there. You can change the thing from Celsius to Fahrenheit and Fahrenheit to Celsius in that screen if you want. You can also make sure location services are enabled so that way it sees your location. And that is the weather app.
All right, very good, Herbie. Yeah, that's a very handy app to have, native right there on your iPhones. We're going to unmute folks and give you guys a chance to ask any questions. I'm just curious how many of you are already using the weather app also. If you're not, now you know how to use it. So remember, say your name if you got a question or a comment.
Pat.
Hello, Pat. Go ahead.
I use the weather app. I find it very helpful, especially if you're going to be traveling. You can check out the weather before you go there. I like it. Thanks for the great demo.
All right. Thanks, Pat.
This is
George.
Terry and then George.
Good demo there, Herbie. I use the weather app and I get automatic announcements every day at 9 a.m. I'm not sure why. I haven't checked the settings to see if I added that at some time and I just don't remember, or if that's one of the features that is turned on when you get the phone. I don't really know, but I do find that very helpful to get automatic announcements. I know 9 a.m. is one of the times, and I think there's a couple of other times during the day that I get weather announcements too. And the other thing I like about it is that if there is severe weather, it will notify me of that as well. So it's a good app.
All right. Thanks, Terry. George, go ahead.
Yes, I'm one of those who do use the app, and I like the idea. Like for those of us in Houston, we've been having rain every day this week. And what it'll do is it would alert me rain starting in your area in like 2 minutes. And then it'll tell me it will be stopping in about, 15 minutes. So it gives like the start and stop time of the rain. Also, since I do a lot of traveling, I like that just like the phone will automatically update the time zone, it also will update the city that you're in and give you weather reports in that particular city as well.
Right. Thanks, George. Anybody else? Questions for Herbie on the weather app? Or just let us know whether or not you use the weather app.
This is Sarah.
Sarah, go ahead.
Hey. Just a comment. I thought that was a really good review of the weather app. I use it all the time. In Vermont, they say if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. I think it used to maybe have been 15 minutes, but now it's 5. Anyway, I watch it. I check it all the time, and I love it. I have no idea how I survived with a thermometer, outside. So thank you, Herbie. And that was it.
Great comments. Thanks, Sarah.
Cindy.
Go ahead, Miss Cindy.
So, yeah, I like the weather app. I'm like the gentleman said, I do a lot of traveling as well. In fact, I got family in Michigan. When I go to Michigan, it automatically changes. When I go to Florida, where I got family in Florida, it automatically changes. So yeah, I love it. When I go work out, it lets me know what the weather's gonna be like. So all that good stuff. Good demo, Herbie.
Very good. Thanks, Cindy. Any other comments?
This is George with one more comment, real quick.
Go ahead.
The app also is almost like having your personal weather forecasted because you can actually, and Herbie, I can't recall if you discussed it in your presentation, but you can actually change it to give you hourly forecast or as well as next 10 days forecast. That it'll tell you the highs and lows of the city of your choice.
No, I didn't get around to covering that, so thanks for that info there, George.
Yeah, it's pretty versatile. I like the hourly thing too.
Hi, this is Carla.
Carla, go ahead.
It's just I like to check on various cities' weather so I can check on where friends are and see what their weather's doing. So I quite like that.
Okay. So what's the weather there where you are right now?
It's cloudy right now.
Okay. And it's what, about 7 p.m.?
No, it's about 8. Just after 8:30.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Oh, she's in the UK. Okay.
Yeah, I am.
All right, very good. Well, Herbie checked during his demo, he checked on your temperature. Well, that was as of yesterday morning whenever he was doing the demo, I guess. Okay, anybody else? Comments, questions?
This is Shri.
Shri.
So Herbie, is the weather app pulling, when you use the weather widget, is it pulling the information from the weather app?
I would assume so, but I am not a widget person, so... But I would assume so, unless maybe if you have other weather apps on there, could it pull data from that as well?
Okay, thanks.
This is Cindy.
This is Terry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Terry. I was going to say I have the widget and it works very well. So go ahead, Terry.
Go ahead, Terry.
Just for clarification, it's actually a few minutes after 9 in the UK right now.
What? Okay, yeah, that makes more
Oh,
sense.
thanks for that, because I didn't look at my watch.
Yeah, I
It
thought
was a
that-
little bit earlier in the day when I did my demo yesterday, so when I recorded it.
6
So
hours, yeah. Okay, very good. Let's see. Any other comments, questions for Herbie?
This is Sandhya.
Sandhya.
I'm just going to add, I mean, there are a lot of other weather apps out there. We've heard the names thrown around, but just remember, this is already on your phone and it's free. So, and it's nice and simple. I mean, some of those other apps, I have tried them and they have a lot of bells and whistles, but if all you want to know is it going to rain? Is it going to rain this afternoon when I have to go out or whatever? This is a nice, simple application. That's why I like it.
Yeah,
Sharon?
I think hang on just a second, Sharon. I think
Sorry.
they didn't Apple buy Dark Skies, and I think some of the features of Dark Skies have been implemented in the native weather app.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Sharon.
Yeah, I live sort of close to two neighborhoods, and I will get, I mean, it tends to be the same weather, but I do get the alert for both neighborhoods. Is there a way I can go in and delete that, or?
So okay, so you're trying to get alerts at the same time?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think it's the weather app. I mean, I'm sure I've set it up to give me alerts because I want alerts, but like it'll say it's gonna rain, thunder in Kips Bay. Then it'll say thunder in, Stuyvesant Town. So it'll basically give the same. It's kind of the same weather because these two areas are within 10 blocks of each other. So I was just wondering.
I don't know if it would be I mean, I guess you could look under notifications, but with it being 10. But I would imagine so you would get the notifications for however you set them up. So if you have one set up for one neighborhood and it would alert you for when it's going to rain in that neighborhood. Now, if it's going to happen at the same time, but I will honestly, I've never tried to divide it up into neighborhoods like that, such as close proximity.
This is Sarah.
Terry.
Sarah, then Terry.
Thank you. I think perhaps you haven't the app, the location will change. Like I've been on trains or buses before, and the location changes as you move. So, did you choose the location? In
Sharon, as far as I know, no. No, I don't remember choosing the location. No.
Try this, Sarah. Try choosing where you are. Choose your location so it doesn't keep switching. And maybe when you're searching for your location, it will give you choices of whether it is, whatever or whatever. And maybe you can localize it to where you actually are. But it does change as you move. So maybe as you're walking down the block, it will change.
Right.
And this is Herbie. Something to keep in mind too is, does Apple recognize those two different areas as two different locations? Because, like, for instance, when I demoed London earlier, it recognized the different suburbs and like little townships that belong to London. But like, for instance, in Houston, for instance, I don't think we're divided up into area. I can go look real quick, but it may not, but it may not. Right, so, like when you're in 10 blocks, are they like two different neighborhoods or the same neighborhood?
Two different neighborhoods, Sharon.
Yep. So see if the weather app actually recognizes those two different neighborhoods, because that could be significant too.
Okay. Thank you, Herbie. Thank you, Herbie.
Terry, go ahead.
What I was going to suggest, I don't know if there is a setting, but I do agree with Sharon that it the way mine is set, it changes as you go from one, in my case, one suburb to another. It sort of follows you as to where you are. And that, I think that's that location, whatever that is called, location turned on, so that it follows you. If you have that turned off, I wonder if that would then give you two separate neighborhoods within close proximity of one another, because it's not actually following you from one place to another.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of a tricky one. I mean, it sounds like she did not select either neighborhood, and it's just using the default my location GPS, and it gets confused and picks both neighborhoods to give her alerts for. But I encountered something like that. We have another neighborhood near me called Bel Air, and I'll be on the edge of it, and I can tell when it switches. But then when I go back to my neighborhood, it sometimes stays locked in on Bel Air, and it takes a while for it to come off, and I get alerts for Bel Air when I'm not even in Bel Air. Okay, we are going to have to move along here. So thanks everyone for those great questions and comments. Thanks again, Herbie, for that awesome demo. We are going to actually take a little break here while we got everybody unmuted, and just check to see if we had any new people come in since the beginning that did not get to introduce themselves. This is your chance to do it right now.
Hey, Michael, it's Shree.
Yeah, Shree?
Hey, Claudia just mentioned her name. I don't know if you heard it.
I did.
Okay.
Claudia, you have a quick question? I'm not.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
How do I set it up so that I can get notifications?
Herbie?
What was that?
Claudia is wanting to know how to set up the weather app to get the notifications.
So there's a notifications button. If you double tap that within the app, then and it might be easiest to find it if you work your way from the bottom. So I would touch like the bottom left of the screen and then swipe to the left, and you should see a notifications button.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Herbie. Great question, Claudia. Yeah, it's important to know how to do the notifications. Okay, let's see. What were we doing? Oh, want to give people a chance that didn't get to introduce themselves. Go ahead and just say your name, where you're from.
Hello, this is Mo from Houston.
Mo from, where are you, Mo?
Texas.
Texas. All right.
Hi, this is Cindy from Chicago.
Cindy in Chicago, welcome.
This is Linda from Utah. This is my first iBug call, so I'm glad to learn about it.
Linda, wow, Utah. What part of Utah?
Closer to Orem and Provo.
Oh, okay. Wow, you're right there where we're going to have Ski for Light.
Oh, I'd love to know about that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you got to look into going there. How'd you hear about our iBug?
At the ACB convention this year, back in January.
Okay.
So
did you come by and see us at our booth, or?
Did, yes.
Okay. Well, so glad that you're joining us, and glad that you were there in Jacksonville, and we got
happy to be in the iBug world.
Oh, well, it's so good to have you here. All right, who else didn't get a chance to introduce himself?
Hi, my name is Linda, also, and I'm from Massachusetts.
Okay, Linda from Massachusetts, welcome.
Hi, Karen from Texas.
Karen from Texas, welcome.
And Sarah from Vermont.
Terry from Arlington
Vermont,
Heights,
and Terry
Illinois.
from Chicago area. Anybody else? that did not get to introduce themselves at the beginning?
It's Carla from the UK.
And of course, Carla's
Of course.
here. Welcome.
Yeah.
And it is 9:13 p.m. in Carla.
Yep, it is.
This is Nancy. Nancy, welcome. Where are you from?
Arlington, Virginia.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sorry I'm not there for your dinner. I wish I could be in Texas.
Well, it's a little on the soggy side here, so you might be better there. I bet you probably know some rascal named Shri.
Shri is the person who told me about your organization.
Okay, well, good for Shri, and
all
glad
credit to Shri.
glad you could join us, Nancy.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Claudette Ford from Kingston, New York.
Welcome, Claudette. Good to have you. You've been here before, though, huh?
No, this is my first time.
It is. Wow.
Wow.
A lot of first timers. How did you hear about us?
Well, I've heard about you from the Northeast Association of the Blind in upstate New York, and my counselor has been bugging me about signing on, and I promised her I would, and so I did today.
Well, that is so awesome. Well, what's your counselor's name?
Claire Wade.
Claire. Okay, I'm going to yell at Claire and let her know that you were here and participating, and you get extra stars for doing that. Thanks, Claudette. Anybody else?
It's Greg in Texas.
All right, welcome back, Greg. Anybody else? Okay, let's see. While we got you all unmuted, we are going to probably give away a door prize. Yeah, let's give away a door prize. And let's see, Sandhya, I'm going to ask you to all the news and rumors that you spouted off a little while ago to come up with a question from those news, see how much attention people were paying to what you were saying.
Okay, and you want to tell them the rules for who's eligible?
The rules, yes, we have rules. If you are a facilitator or mentor with us, then you are ineligible. Any iBug facilitators and mentors. And I got that sound effect somewhere. I don't know where it is.
And
but anyway.
if you've won in the last 3 months, you're also not.
Oh, yes. If you've won in the last 3 months, you're also not eligible. And that's on the honor system. But Sandhya keeps a list, so she will chop your little fingers off if you try to tap on the button to unmute. All right. Here we go.
And you have to say your name, wait to be recognized, and then give us your answer. No yelling out. It doesn't count. Okay?
No yelling out. If you yell out, you also get your fingers chopped off.
All right.
And this is going to be for what do we got here in the little bucket? Oh, it's a $25 Apple gift card. So
much good stuff here, Mr. McCulloch. I don't know what to do. All right, here we go. Why did the CrowdStrike outage not affect Mac computers? Why did the CrowdStrike outage not affect Mac computers? There was something about the Mac.
Say your name.
Pat.
All right, Pat.
Apple has great security and updates, and they do have a wall that protects the Mac.
Ooh, she got the word in there. I think I'll give it to her. Yes, it is called. Do you know the other word for what is that feature called, Pat? It's the walled. She said wall. Okay, it's the walled garden.
Walled garden, yeah.
Yes, I think
I was
that's.
going to
She
say
did use
walled
the word wall.
flower, and I knew it wasn't.
Okay. All
All
right.
right. So Miss Pat is the winner of our $25 gift card. Do we have Pat's email?
Yeah.
Thank you very
All right.
much.
So you will be receiving an gift card in your email for a $25 Apple gift card. Way to go, Pat. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, I
This
don't
is
have
Terry.
my applause off. Up. Terry, yes.
So if you're giving away door prizes, is it door number 1, 2, 3, or 4? That's what I want to know.
It was door number 4, of course.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Okay.
Door number Mac.
All right. One other little tidbit. During the news, Sandhya mentioned briefly about the updates to Siri that are going to be coming with the new iOS 18 release. And she did a fine job of telling you about that. But guess what? I found somebody that wants to say even more. So stay tuned for a little more blurb about the use of AI powering our little friend Siri.
Today, Siri helps you get everyday tasks done quickly and easily. In fact, Siri users make 1.5 billion voice requests every single day. 13 years ago, we introduced Siri, the original intelligent assistant, and we had an ambitious vision for it. We've been steadily building towards that vision. And now, thanks to the incredible power of Apple Intelligence, we have the foundational capabilities to take a major step forward. So we can make Siri more natural, more contextually relevant, and of course, more personal to you. Right off the bat, you'll see Siri's got a new look. Let me show you. When you talk to Siri, you'll notice it's more deeply integrated into the system experience with this elegant glowing light that wraps around the edge of your screen. And you can speak to Siri more naturally, thanks to richer language understanding capabilities. Even if I stumble over my words, Siri understands what I'm getting at. What does the weather look like for tomorrow at Muir Beach? Oh wait, I meant Muir Woods.
The forecast is calling for clear skies in the morning near Muir Woods National Monument.
Sometimes it takes me a beat to figure out what I actually want to ask Siri, and now it follows right along. Siri also maintains conversational context, so I can follow up and say, create an event for a hike there tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Hike is scheduled for 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on June 11th.
I didn't have to mention Muir Woods again. Siri understood what I meant when I said there. There are also certain times when you might not want to speak to Siri out loud. What's great is that now, at any time, you have the option to type to Siri. With just a double tap at the bottom of the screen, I can quickly and quietly ask Siri to set an alarm. And you can switch between text and voice, communicating in whatever way feels right for the moment. We're also laying the groundwork for some brand new ways that Siri will be able to support you. One of which is its extensive product knowledge. Siri now holds a great deal of information about features and settings and can answer thousands of questions when you want to know how to do something on your iPhone, iPad, or Mac. Even if you don't know exactly what a feature is called, you can just describe it, and Siri will find the info you're looking for. Like this. How can I write a message now and have it be delivered tomorrow? Siri understood what feature I was referring to, and now I have step-by-step guidance on how to use the new Send Later feature in Messages. Everything I've showed you so far will be available from the moment you start using Apple Intelligence. And over the course of the next year, we'll be rolling out more features that make Siri even more personal and capable.
$10 can help fund powerful ads to reach undecided.
Okay, so as you can see, Siri is going to be boosted over the next year, as Sandhya said earlier, and as I don't know who that was, somebody on CNBC doing the commercial for Apple. All right, let's see. We've got another demo. Jody, she's going to be talking about one of my favorite apps, the Bard mobile app. So take it away, Jody.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to describe today how to use the Bard mobile app for your iPhone. The Bard mobile app is the latest way of listening to talking books from the National Library Service. I'd like to give a bit of a history. Back in 1961, I got my very first talking book, and back then they came on big heavy records in large cartons with heavy straps. And of course they came through the mail, so you'd have to wait for your book to come, and then when you were done you'd put it back in the big heavy box and take it to the post office. And that was the original talking book, which started back in the 1930s. Then in the 1960s later, they developed cassettes. And then, of course, now we have our digital book players, which take cartridges. But if you want to go even one step farther, you can get the Bard mobile app and listen to books anytime you have your iPhone with you. So the first step is to go to the App Store. And in the App Store, you want to do a search for Bard Mobile, which is BARD MOBILE. Now, there are several Bard apps in the App Store, so you want to make sure you get the right one. Once you have the app, you want to contact your local talking book library, and you want to ask for a username and password so that you can access the app. It is a proprietary app only for use for people who are subscribers to the Talking Book service. So once you have your username and password, you put it into the app, and that's the last time you're going to have to do that. Then from then on, you just access the app to listen to a book. And it's very gratifying because it's instant. You want a book, you download it, and you start reading it right away. You don't have to wait for the cartridge to arrive in the mail or trying to, get in touch with your library. So it's really nice. And the very first book that I ever got on records on talking books way back in 1961 was a book titled Follow My Leader. And the very first book that I ever downloaded onto the Bard app was Follow My Leader. So things have come a long way over the years, and it's very exciting. So first, let's go open the Bard app and see what we can find.
Bard Mobile.
Here's the Bard Mobile app. Open it.
Bard Mobile. Bookshelf. Back button.
Now, at the bottom of the screen, there are 4 tabs. The first one is your bookshelf.
Audio magazines. Heading.
And in
Selected. Bookshelf.
In the bookshelf, you have a variety of different things that you can have. That's your personal library.
Get books. Tab 2 of 4.
The next tab is the Get Books tab, and there you can search for books in the library. Then you can also look at recently added books to Bard and access books that you've already read, and there's a variety of things there we'll cover. The next tab is your Settings tab, which allows you to customize the app to the way you like it. And then the last tab is your Play tab for the book that you've selected to read. So first we'll go back to the Bookshelf tab.
Tab bar. Selected. Bookshelf. Tab 1 of 4. Selected. Bookshelf. Bookshelf. Select category. Heading.
Now, on the bookshelf, you have a choice. If you swipe left to right, you got
audiobooks, 4 items.
Your books.
Audio magazines, 1 item.
And magazines, which you can also subscribe to.
Braille books, 1 item.
Braille books, and you can connect your you can connect your phone to a Braille display, or you can connect your book to, or your BARD app to the brand new e-reader that comes from the National Library Service, which is a Braille display with a Braille keyboard. So you can also, if you're a Braille reader, you can read books on a new e-reader that's available, but that's a whole different subject. One of the most overlooked aspects to the bookshelf
Braille magazines, 0 help, 1 item.
is the help feature. And in the help feature,
Bard mobile user guide, select to open.
you can actually look at a user guide on how to use your Bard mobile app.
Right bullet. 2.2, tab bar, in page last square, list start.
So you have a table of contents where you can find the specific things that are in your mobile app, and you can read about them that way.
Bard mobile user guide, select to open. Bard mobile user guide, select to
All
open.
right, let's go back to the bookshelf.
1 item, bookshelf, select category, heading, audiobooks, 4 items.
And I'll go to audiobooks. Now these are the books that I've downloaded onto my phone.
Heading, all creatures great and small. Period. James. Total time 16 hours 56 minutes 20.
And it'll go to the first book in your list. So one feature that's in the bookshelf at the top
Toolbar, title and author search field.
is you can actually do a title and author search. So if you have a large number of books in your bookshelf and you don't want to keep swiping left or right to go down the list to find the book you want, you can actually do an author and title search at the top of the page.
Today, heading, toolbar, author, button.
So you find the book that you want to play in your list, you do a one-finger double tap on it, and that opens the book in the book reader. So that's how you read a book, and we'll get to that. The second tab,
Tab bar, get books, tab, settings, tab, 3 of 4, get books, tab,
is the Get Books tab. And under the Get Books tab, you can do a search in the library for a book that you're interested in. You can also, once you've selected a book in the library, you can either put it in your wish list, which stays on the library server, or you can download it into your bookshelf. So you have those two choices. And the advantage of putting it in your wish list is that you can access that wish list if you have multiple devices, where if you download the book in your bookshelf, it's on that particular device and not the others. So here's where you can do the search, and you can do the search. Open the
search field.
And you can search for a book by author, title, keyword, just like you used to do on the website, but this is much more straightforward.
Search. Wish list. Recently added to Bard.
Under the Get Books, you also have the opportunity to look at recently added to Bard books from the library. So if you tap on this,
audiobooks, Braille magazines, audio magazines.
You can also search for magazines and Braille books and Braille magazines as well.
Audiobooks.
So, looking under,
Go home for dinner. Advice on how faith makes a family and family makes a life.
here are books that are just added.
More info. Go home for dinner. Modern occultism. History. More info. No bad kids. Toddler discipline without. More info. The breastfeeding book. Everything. More info. Through divine plans. Practices to quiet your ego in the light. More info. Penny draws a secret adventure. Shepherd. Sarah. Total time 2 hours 45 minutes.
Now, once you find a book, if you're interested in it, you can go to more info.
More info. Penny draws a secret adventure. Shepherd. Sarah. Penny draws a secret adventure.
And once you tap on the more info button, then you can get the information about the author.
Penny draws Shepherd. Sarah. Penny and her friends find an old map that takes them on a search in the town for hidden treasure. Provided by publisher. Commercial audiobook. For Grace 47. Expand annotation. Button.
You can get more information about the book.
Narrator. Cassandra Morris. Total time, 2 hours, 45 minutes. And book number, TD, 1, 2, 1. Add to wish list, button.
Now this is where you can add it to the wish list so that it stays on the server, but it's still in your collection.
Download, button.
Or you can download the book to the bookshelf. Now if you tap on download, it will download the book to the bookshelf, and then the download button will turn into a read button. So all you have to do really to read the book is to tap on that read button.
Session index, adjustable, today, heading, through divine lands, practices, audiobooks, Braille books. Braille magazines.
So going back to the Get Books list.
Tab bar, bookshelf, tab, 1 of 4.
You have
Braille magazines. Braille books. Recently added to Bard. Recently added to Bard. Most popular books.
Most popular books that are being borrowed. You can also search for a list. Say you've read a book and you can't remember the title. You can go back.
House magazines. Previous downloads.
You can go back to your previous downloads and you can find that book and you can find out what the title of it was.
Search music. Tab bar. Bookshelf. Tab 1 of 4.
So that's the Get Books tab. The next tab is your Settings tab, and this is where things get really interesting.
Settings. Tab 3 of 4. Settings. Heading.
So under Settings, you can
Audio settings. Button.
you can set up your audio settings, and again, this is to customize the reader so that it's most comfortable for you. So you can adjust the speed, you can adjust the tone,
0. Adjustable. Background playback on. Switch button.
you can adjust a lot of the reading features so that if you want to listen to your book with the locked screen, you've got that option.
Audio settings. Button.
And you know, it's very customizable.
Braille and display settings. Button.
You've got Braille and display settings. So if you have a Braille display and you'd like to use it with your mobile Braille Bard mobile app, then that's available there.
User account settings. Button.
Your user account settings, which of course you've gotten those from the Talking Book Library, your username and password.
Siri settings. Button.
Now here's the most recent addition, the Siri settings that you have on your mobile Braille Bard mobile app.
More reading audio. Button. More reading audio. Button. Playback. Button. Navigate. Button. Playback. Button.
So you can change a variety of things so that you don't even have to touch your phone. You can just tell Siri to do the following things.
Added to Siri. Start play. Button. Start playing.
Start playing it.
Added to Siri. Stop playing. Added to Siri. Stop. Sleep timer. An interactive shortcut. Added to Siri. Button. Sleep timer 15. Added to Siri. Sleep timer 30.
You can even customize the sleep timer to, you know, whether you like it 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or more.
Added to Siri. Button. Sleep timer 45. Added to Siri. Button. Sleep timer 60. Added to Siri. Sleep chapter. Added to Siri. Button.
Or you can have it turn the sleep or have it stop playing when you're done with the chapter.
Tab bar. Bookshelf. Tab 1 of 4. Playback. Button. Navigate. Button. Next chapter.
Now, when you go to the navigation tab,
Add to Siri. Button.
this allows you to navigate using Siri.
Next chapter. Add to Siri. Button. Previous chapter. Add to Siri. Button. Jump. An interactive shortcut. Add to Siri. Button. Jump 20 seconds. Add to Siri. Button. Jump back. An interactive shortcut. Add to Siri. Button. Jump back 20 seconds. Added to Siri. Jump back. Bookmark. Add to Siri. Button. Tab bar. Bookshelf. Tab.
So as you can see, there's a lot of opportunities now to use Siri to control your Bard app. So if you've got it in your pocket and you're using a Bluetooth earbud, you can simply use Siri to change a lot of the features as you're reading the book without having to take your phone out of your pocket, which is really a wonderful new feature. And you can also customize the commands. So for example, if you want to have, the default is start playing, but if you decide you want to have a different phrase, then you can change it to whatever you'd like to change it to. And that's true of all of the commands. You can change and customize the Siri commands to whatever you'd like. And I think this is a wonderful new feature.
Now reading. Tab.
Now, the last tab is your Now Reading tab. If you have a digital book player, the screen on your phone is identical to the controls that you have on your physical digital book player. So you have your play pause button in the same location, your rewind and fast forward. Above the play button, you have your selection for whether you want to move by chapter or article, and your previous and next are to the left and right of that. And then at the top of the screen, you have command controls on where you are in the book. There's a navigation.
89% navigation button.
There's a navigation button which will allow you to access the chapters in the book, so that you can use that to locate where you are, or you can just simply go to the slide bar and move that way.
Beginning of book. 0 hours, 0 minutes, and 0 seconds / 4 hours, 27 minutes, and 54
and
seconds.
if you swipe up or down,
0.
Current
position 0%. Adjustable.
So here's the slide bar where you can pick the position
10%.
by swiping up or down.
19%. 9%, 0%, 0%, beginning of book.
And so you have a lot of control over where you are in the book that way too. And if we keep swiping,
sleep timer button.
You have your sleep timer, and of course you tab on that just like you do on the player, so that you can adjust the time there.
Bookmark button.
You can add a bookmark just like you can on the player.
Previous button. Jump by article button. Next button.
Swiping left or right.
Rewind button. Play button. Fast forward button. Speed button.
Now, the speed control, if you hit the speed control button, you have a choice between speed and tone, just like you do on the book player. So you can adjust the speed to listen to the book.
Speed 100% adjustable.
And you can swipe up and down to change this.
125%, 150%, 125%. Play button. Fast forward. Speed button. Speed 100%. Tab bar. Bookshelf. Tab.
And then you're back down to the tabs at the bottom of the screen. So I'm going to go back to the bookshelf and show you another feature that you can do.
Bookshelf. Tab 1 of 4.
That I really enjoy.
Audiobooks. 4 items.
I'm going to go to a...
Heading. Toolbar. All creatures great and small.
Now, if you happen to have a book series that you like, and this one is the James Herriot series, you can swipe up and down and get various choices. For example, you swipe down once, you get delete.
Annotation.
You can get the annotation without having to go to the more info button.
More info. Read. All books by Herriot. James.
All books by James Herriot.
Empty list. Downloaded. All creatures great and small. Herriot. More info. All creatures. All things bright and beautiful. Herriot. More info. All things wise and wonderful. More info. All things wise and wonderful. More info. All things wise and wonderful. Every living thing slash. Herriot. More info. James Herriot's animal stories. Herriot. More info. James Herriot's past stories.
So as you can see,
total time 3 hours 15 minutes.
Once you find an author that you really like, then you can swipe up on that book that you've got, and you can find the whole rest of the series.
Today, heading. All creatures great and small. More info. All creatures great and small. Herriot.
And now, and again, under the more info button, you'll have all of the features describing the book. And if you go to a magazine, actually, in the more info section, you can actually subscribe to that magazine so that every time they put a new issue out, you don't have to go find it. It will automatically get added to your wish list. So I think I've pretty much covered most of the features in the Bard app, and I hope you found this interesting. And if you have any questions, I hope you'll let me know. Anyway, thank you.
All right, Jody, another awesome demo. Way to go. Okay, I noticed Jody's back in the room. Sandhya, well, I guess you're going to unmute everybody, so.
Yep, they're all unmuted.
All right, so Jody, you should be able to unmute yourself also. Okay, anybody have questions for Jody about the Bard mobile app? Unfortunately, our friends that are not in the US, this is not available to you, but I'm sure you've got some other comparable.
This is Pete.
Book reading apps. Yeah, go ahead, Pete.
If Jody's back, I don't know. Jody, are you back?
Yes, I am back. It was very frustrating because I was trying to unmute before and I wasn't being allowed to unmute, so I'm here.
Oh no. All I wanted to do is say dynamite demo, well done.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I like the intro music to that. That was really great.
Yeah.
Terry.
Go ahead, Tyrion.
Well done, Jody. And a clarification, there are people in other countries who are either U.S. citizens or by some other reason are able to access Bard from that country. So just to make that point, there are people in other parts of the world who are indeed Bard users by virtue of whatever reasons they're able to do that.
Yeah. They got some connection with some U.S. citizen.
Yes,
right.
This is Jody. I have an added comment too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, if you go to loc.gov, you can actually sign up for a lot of email services. They have monthly Zoom meetings for BART users, as well as monthly meetings now that they're going to have for the new Braille e-readers. So if you go to loc.gov and search there, you'll be able to sign up for. They've got a lot of email lists also about their other services that they offer at the Library of Congress.
And this is Terry with a comment.
Yep, go ahead.
It's interesting, a lot of people are Braille readers, and that's a great thing. The thing I'm noticing about the audiobooks is that we're seeing more and more audiobooks being narrated by the author of that book. And so
the commercial audiobooks, yeah.
If people are interested in that, because Bard is now accessing commercial audiobook, because they're now doing this all digitally. That was why one of the reasons they switched over to that. So we have earlier access to more books. And if you like listening to the author read your book, that could be a good reason to read it audibly. But if you like Braille, that's a good thing too.
Okay.
Good reason to have the e-reader.
Actually, my favorite is a recent book. It's called Making It So, and it's Patrick Stewart's biography, and he reads it himself. So if you're a Trekkie, you would probably really enjoy that. Also, if you want to send a letter to or an email to NLS, it's nlspes@loc.gov, and you can email them directly if you have questions, or if you want to sign up for some of their services.
Okay.
This is Sarah.
Pat, go ahead. Yeah.
Great presentation, Jody. I also would like to say that with the more info, you can also subscribe to a favorite author when a new book is added under books, and then they will put the new book on your wish list automatically if you have a favorite author.
Okay.
And it was an awesome presentation.
Sharon?
Okay, go ahead, Sharon.
Yeah, it was terrific presentation, but I did not know about the Siri settings. So I saw where it is on the app. Do you have to go in? You go in and select that, and then it'll give you options. Is that how that works?
You go to settings, and under settings, it will say Siri settings, and you can turn them on in there. And there's the listening features for audio, and then there's also navigation features. So you have two different places where you can add those Siri shortcuts.
Okay, so I go in. So you click on it or something, you swipe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go into open the Bard app. It's in the Bard app, not in the settings app. It's in the Bard app, and it's the third tab over that says settings. You tap on that, and you'll see the Siri shortcuts listed there.
Okay, thank you.
This is Sarah.
Okay, Sarah.
I didn't think you could hear me. I just wanted to say, Jody, you did a fabulous job, and it sounds like there was no editing, so I am very impressed. Yeah. The Bard app is my most used app. I think I'm wearing it out. And, so it is a lifesaver. And thank you. Great.
Thank you, Sarah.
You mean, that's great. You didn't notice that I cut out all those dog barks then?
No.
Oh, I had to turn off the air conditioner and the fan and put the dog in the bedroom and everything. Yeah.
All right. Who else got a question for Jody?
Thank you, Michael.
Arlene.
Arlene, go ahead.
Thank you, Jody, for doing this. I notice when I go, I'm not real sure where I go, but it might be my wish list or it might be my bookshelf. But every book I've ever read is there, and then I have to like shuffle through all of that. My question is, can you delete a book that you've already read, or does it stay with you
Absolutely,
forever?
yes. You go to the book title, swipe down once, and it will, the first choice is delete. You do a one finger tap on delete and the book will be deleted.
Go to the book when it's in the bookshelf,
In the
or when
bookshelf
I'm reading?
or in the wish list, either one.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay.
D.
George. D, go ahead, D, and then George.
Good job, Jody. I have an iPad on my phone forever and ever, but now I wanted to put it on my iPad. And would you believe I remember my password for that, but I don't remember my ID. Do I have to have the ID in order to put that on my?
Yes, I think so. And you can probably get that from your regional library if you contact them.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought, but I just haven't done it yet. So yeah, because I feel like I'm wearing out the battery on my phone because I listen to books all night.
Yeah, and
So,
you're going to want to
okay,
add the
you,
books
girl.
to your wish list so that you can access them from either device. Because, if you download the book onto your iPhone, it's not going to show up on your iPad. You're going to have to download it separately onto the iPad.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Great questions,
Sherry.
everybody. Go ahead, Sherry.
Your ID is usually your email address, I believe.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Okay. Did I hear Sharon, or I'm not sure who that was?
George, I think.
Oh, George is waiting. Yes. Sorry, George.
Audio now unmuted.
Hey, good afternoon. I would admit that I've been having a Bard app on my phone for a while, but I've never used it because I do a lot of Braille reading, or I may use Audible. My question is, because I noticed in your presentation you gave instructions on how to go to specific chapters. Does Bard allow you to go to specific page numbers, or that's just not an Audible feature? I mean, a Bard feature.
Not page numbers. No.
Okay.
No. You've got two choices. You can either navigate by the index, which is usually set for, chapters or whatever the subgroup is, or you can go to the location of the book on that slide bar and swipe up and down to move around the book that way too. Or you can use the, forward and rewind.
And it does give you speed control, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Start my video. Mute my audio.
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
Just want to mention, but it has a different category of books. Unfortunately, the only app I've ever seen that supports audiobooks that lets you go to page numbers is Learning Ally, and that's a whole nother animal in itself. But so if you're looking for textbooks and stuff like that, then that may be a good resource to tap into. But that's the only app I know of that will let you go to
audio now unmuted.
Page numbers.
And you correct.
Bookshare too.
I'll let you do that because that's a lot of college books, and sometimes you do need page numbers, so that makes sense.
Yeah, and Bookshare will give you the same option. Search by pages.
Yeah, but that's for their physical, not for their audiobooks.
Right.
I'm strictly talking about audiobooks.
Okay, very good.
Hi, this is Linda D.
Go ahead, Linda. From Utah.
There's two Lindas now, so I'm Linda D. When you download a book onto the iPhone or the iPad or it's on Bard, because Bard is on your phone, how much space does it take on your phone? Do you have to worry about storage?
Generally, no. The books do take up more space than a lot of other things, but we don't usually have that many photos. And it's probably a good idea when you're done reading a book to delete it. You can, if you keep books on your wish list, those are not going to physically be on your phone, and so they're not going to take up space until you actually download the books. So you can keep books in your wish list for that reason too, and then they won't take up space on your phone.
Okay, thank you.
Claudia.
All right, very good. Any other questions?
Claudia. Claudia's
Claudia,
there.
yes, go ahead.
Yes, I'm helping my best friend
to have because she's in Canada and I'm helping her to have Bard with my account. I want to know if there's a way that she can have her own account.
No, you have to be a resident of the United States, and you really shouldn't be sharing it with a friend in Canada. It's really supposed to be just your account. And now I'm pretty sure that Canada has an equivalent.
Yeah, this is Herbie.
So
go ahead, Herbie.
I should point out that, yeah, Claudia, technically what you are doing is illegal. So,
yeah,
don't share your account with... don't share your account with anybody, even if they're in the United States, because they have to be a registered member of Bard. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
So, you cannot share your account with anybody.
Brian?
Hey, Brian, tell us about what's going on in Canada.
Yeah, I was just going to say, no, even if they did share their account, they can't get into it to bar from Canada because they do have location enabled on Bard, but you can join SELA here in Canada, which is Center for I forget, but anyway, it's CLA, and once she's in there, if there is a book on Bard which SELA doesn't have, they will do the request through NLS for it.
Okay. And that's in Canada. She's the one that's in Canada.
Yeah, well, you don't want to share your Bard account with anybody. That's not legal. But the other thing too is with the Marrakesh Treaty now, there's a lot of exchange being done from one country to another, and
yeah.
Pat.
All right, hang on, Pat. Let's see if there's anybody that has not had a chance to make a comment.
Thank you, Brian.
Question.
This is Shri.
Shri, go ahead.
Is there a limit on how many devices you can install Bard on and have access to the book?
I don't think so, as long as they're under your account.
Yeah. All right, we got time for maybe one or two more questions here. Go ahead, Pat.
I just wanted to say that I think if you are sharing, you could lose your account if Bard finds out. So I would highly not recommend you do that. And I think there is a number of devices on Bard, and somebody had an account for a long time and they had to call, they had like several iPhones and several iPads and a Mac and everything, and they did have to delete some of the old ones off so they could add their new iPad on there. I can't remember what the limit was, though.
That's Terry.
Yeah, go ahead, Terry.
With some of the devices, you also have to get a key or keys from the NLS BPD in order to add those devices to your Bard account. But there is a limit of devices and the number of devices you can have use Bard on at any given time. I don't know what it is, and also there, I believe, is now a limit of how many books you can download per month.
Yes, but it's a really large number.
It's like 500 books, but
yeah,
there were people who were downloading more than that.
I can't imagine you'd fill up your phone, Yeah.
Wow.
Also, if your account is not active for a certain amount of time, then that could be a problem too. But I've never had that problem.
Yeah, you'll get locked out. Okay, I heard Sandhya, and this is going to be the last question.
This is actually just a comment and just say how wonderful your demo was, and thank you for stepping up. And I really appreciate you because I know you love this app, and thank you for sharing it with everyone here on this call and those who are listening. And this is also to encourage others who, might be a little hesitant about doing a demo and think, oh, I've never done it, or I haven't done it in a long time, or I don't know how it's going to turn out. That's not the point of this. We want you to share what you love, why you love it, and then, if you need editing, we'll clean it up. But Jody's was wonderful, and thank you for the time that you took to do it. And I just love your history of the app and how we used to get. You also forgot, talked about. I wanted to share the green little cassette tapes coming in green plastic carton. So that was another step along the way, and we're just we should just be so blessed and lucky to have all these free resources that we have right now. So we're just it's so amazing, and thank you, Jody, and encouraging everybody else to, if you want to do a demo, send me an email at ibugtoday@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you, Sandhya.
Okay, well, I lied. There's going to be one more question, and I got it. Jody, you mentioned your first book you got on record back in '61. How many records did you receive to do the whole book?
I don't remember, Michael. It was that was over 50 years ago. I have no clue. I just know that when I got the Bard app, that I've got to get that book, and I've actually saved it on my phone.
Yeah,
because for nostalgic reasons. Yeah.
So the record was like a LP kind of.
Yeah, it was the LP records, and you got a whole stack of them, and they came in this great big carton with these big heavy straps, and you had a record player that was on loan. And then the next step, the high tech thing they did was they had flexible records that you get.
Flexible
and then
discs.
and then came the cassettes, and that was a big jump to have the cassettes.
Okay, well, yeah.
For a long time, you could have both. You could have the record player and the cassette player.
Okay, well, I really loved your history there. That was great. And
Michael, I have 230 books downloaded on my Bard app, and I've never gotten any notification or anything about limitations.
Okay, well, you still got another 200 and
another 270. Yeah.
All right. Well, very good. Jody and Herbie,
Thank you,
both
Michael.
you guys did great jobs on your demos. We couldn't do this without you, and we couldn't do
Great job, guys.
Without all the people that are here this afternoon. Just a little expression of our appreciation. So we will be back here in it'll be more than 4 weeks. Remember, it's going to be on the 31st of August. So come back and join us then, and we will be signing off here. Thanks again, everybody. Hopefully you had fun and you had actually learned a few things here today. Take care and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank